'cause the music makes me high. If I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye.
All I have for you is a word. Tenant. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too. Use it carefully.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
I'm not saying Armageddon here.
No. Something worse.
I gather you have an interest in a certain Russian national.
Why'd you bring me in?
You really want to know? He can communicate with the future.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa.
Well, I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
Your duty transcends national interests. This is about survival.
Seems bold.
Bold, I'm fine with. I thought you were going to say nuts.
This is where our worlds collide.
How would you like to die?
Old.
You chose the wrong profession.
Well, that from here.
Hasn't happened yet.
There are people in the future who need us. Who need Tenant.
We need to save them here and now.
This reversing the flow of time. Doesn't us being here now mean it never happened? You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. No, it's so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.
What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Mr. Von Channel Sweatbox, and we back. We live. We active here on the channel. Yes, indeed. Let me straighten this camera out real quick. There we go. We back live active. Yes, you know how we do. Can't even get the words out. But we back. We live. And we active here on the channel. And I got for you a movie review today. Today, we talking about Tenant. Yes, I know I'm late. I know I'm slow. Whatever. You guys know. Y'all ain't come to this channel for up-to-date movie reviews. Y'all come to this channel for my motherfucking sparkling personality. So, like I said, we talking about Tenant, directed by none other than I done forgot his name. Oh, let me see. I'm sorry. Starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Kenneth Branagh, and Elizabeth Debicki. Directed by what's his name? Christopher Nolan. Thank you. I'm having a super brain fart why I couldn't remember Christopher Nolan. But yeah, it's the new Christopher Nolan flick. Starring John David Washington and Robert Pattinson and Kenneth Branagh and Elizabeth. I don't know how to pronounce Elizabeth. Debicki? Sure, close enough. Debicki? One of those two. Anyway, yeah. My thoughts. Now, as we all know, in the year of COVID, everything's been crazy. We are now in 2021 and COVID is still here. Other people are not. Donald Trump's gone. We'll get to that. Tenet came out. A lot of people didn't see it. Some people did. Finally came to HBO Max and I got to see it. So here's my review. First off, before we start, obviously you guys know Christopher Nolan is just a phenomenal filmmaker. I've never ever hated a Christopher Nolan movie. It's just not happened. The only Chris movie, the Chris movie Nolan that I disliked the most, and I didn't dislike it, but you have to say it since we're categorizing it, the movie that I disliked the most, or let's just put the movie I liked the least. That's better because I liked all of them. So the movie I liked the least was Interstellar. Interstellar is my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie. So there you go. And I still really like Interstellar. I've seen it 3 times. So yeah. Tenant. Like I said, we all talked about it. This movie's weird, man. The concept of this movie is John David Washington plays an agent who's trying to stop an event that's going to bring about the end of the world. That's the loose it's the loose definition of what this movie's about. I'll read the overview. It's not going to help. But a secret agent is given a single word as his weapon and sent to prevent the onset of World War III. He must travel through time and bend the laws of nature in order to successfully his mission. So yeah. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted here because anyway, this movie's good. I'm sorry for the distraction, but this movie's good, man. It's a Christopher Nolan movie. It's good. This is the thing. Going into the movie and I was reading some non-spoiler reviews, I had seen a lot of people say the biggest complaint they had with this movie was the sound, and they were talking about how you couldn't hear some of the dialogue. You couldn't hear a lot of the dialogue in this movie. So I knew that. I had heard that going into the movie. I had heard about that, and so I was aware of that. And I watch a lot of movies sometimes with captions on anyway. So I threw the captions on off the top to start this movie. So the idea of not being able to hear the movie, and it was very apparent. There's definitely some scenes where I was like, man, if these captions wasn't on, I wouldn't know what the fuck they were saying. So I don't know what's up with that. Christopher Nolan, he's had some issues with some sound mixing before in some other movies. Man, I don't know if he's purposefully doing that. I don't know. It's weird. That aside, this movie's good, man. It's definitely very convoluted. It definitely feels like it needs to be longer. It needs to be maybe be 2 films, because the concept that they're trying to sell to you is just so crazy. I can't even really. This is a spoiler review, and I can't even really grasp the concept that they're moving backwards in time or reverse in time. And they had they had a phrase for what it was called. And I don't remember what the phrase was called, but man, the visuals in this movie, awesome, of course. The plot of this movie, there's no character development as far as, and that's the thing about Nolan's films, minus the Dark Knight trilogy, he doesn't do a lot of character development. You get a little, but with this one, with John Washington's character, you get none. I don't even think he had a name. But man, again, visually stunning. Everything. The movie's it's a beauty to watch. And this and the relationship between Pattinson and Washington is the thing for me was the thing you cling to in this movie. I enjoyed the relationship between him and Elizabeth, and what's his name as the villain was good. So again, this is not a bad movie. I know people, it's very convoluted, it's confusing. It is. I definitely recommend watching it more than once. But to say it's a bad movie, I just don't think that's a fair assessment. It definitely has flaws, of course. Obviously, the sound being one, but it's a lot. It's a lot that you're trying to, and I feel like they tried to jam a lot into a short. And this movie's not short. It's like 2.5 hours. But even with that, it still needed more time to breathe. But having said all of that, I'd say the last hour of this film is just phenomenal, man. It is just really, really, really good movie. I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what's going on? With the car chase scene, to them going back and reverse, it was just, and then the twist of Robert Pattinson being the guy that was on the ground with the tag. You see him, and he's dead, and he comes back and say, I liked it. I was like, oh, it really threw me for a loop. And then you really got to think, this movie's gonna make your brain hurt. It's gonna make your brain hurt, but in a good way. If you like that type of movie, if you don't like that, I know people. My mother's not. She's the type. She doesn't like to think in movies, so this movie is definitely not for her. But if you like to think, if you're up for a challenge in a movie, man, this movie's gonna bend your mind. It's a lot, and it's a lot to take in, but it's a lot of good. It's a lot of good. Excuse me. I say that, and I'm not. I said this is. I feel like this is a spoiler review, but I mean, there's a lot that happens in this movie that I would have to do a deep dive video to really get into the minutia of this film. But the entire concept of, I like the end. First of all, the ending where they all vow to go their separate ways and kill each other and bury the thing. I like that was cool, even though we knew they weren't going to do it. The concept of John protecting the girl and her son, I liked all of that. I mean, the movie's acted well. This is so, but it's just very convoluted. I think I've said that. I said that like 3 times now. This movie's very convoluted, and it is. They just really tried to stuff a lot in there, and I think I didn't even grasp all of it. So I'm not even going to sit up here and act like I grasped all of it, but I grasped most of it. I feel like I grasped most. I'm a pretty high level movie watcher when it comes to stuff like that, so I grasped most of it. But man, I feel like this movie needed at least another 30 minutes to really expand and breathe on the point that they were trying to make, because there was so much that you like the scene where she gets shot, where Elizabeth gets shot with the inverted bullet or whatever, and then they got to bring her through the thing and all that, and then they end up saving her. I mean, it was a lot. It's a lot. You're trying to understand. You're like, wait, what is happening? It's a lot. That's why I definitely recommend watching this movie at least twice. So, and again, like okay, so here's the point. So the big twist. There's a scene at the beginning. This is a super huge spoiler. So this is a scene at the beginning where him and Robert Pattinson go in and they get into this fight, and he and John Washington is fighting this dude with the mask on, and he's fighting him. And they're having this reverse fight, and it's dope. It's a dope scene. And then as the movie progresses, we find out that it was himself. He was fighting himself throughout the whole movie, and it was such a twist. And I was like, oh snap! And then in the scene, because you realize, in the first scene when you watch it, Robert Pattinson rips his mask off and he lets the dude go, and then he's like, hey, I took care of that guy. And you're right, so there, that puts that seed in, like, can we really trust him? And you find out, yeah, you could trust Robert more than anybody. He was the only dude you could really trust. And it was phenomenal. And then I love how they paid it off with him at the end, with Robert going back in and getting the double. It was. I thought that I was really, really, really into that part of the movie. I thought that was so from that concept, I was like, oh, this is really well done. Really well done. I just thought that was really well done. So overall, I'm gonna give my review. This is my grade of Tenant. Very convoluted film, but still very entertaining. Visually phenomenal. The scene where they blow the building up and then it blows up in reverse, it was, oh my gosh, there's so much. The car chase scene was so intense. It was just, I'm gonna go watch this movie for the 3rd time. It's a really good movie. Yeah, man, so that's my review of Tenant. What am I gonna give this? The convolution of it, it's such a convoluted film. I'm not gonna act like that's not a flaw. It is a flaw. The sound design is a flaw. So I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10 for Tenant. There, I think that's a fair score because the convolution. But yeah, I think that's a fair score. 7.5 out of 10 for Tenant. Definitely, still recommend go seeing this movie. Highly recommend go seeing this movie. Understand, 7.5 out of 10 is still a good score. Okay, it's not Dark Knight level where you're getting 9 out of 10 or Inception level where you're getting 9 out of 10. It's not there. It's not even the solid 8 I gave with Dunkirk or Interstellar. I actually like this movie more than Interstellar, even though I think I gave Interstellar a higher score. I don't remember what I gave Interstellar, but I like this movie more than Interstellar. But I feel like I feel like if I gave Interstellar an 8, I think I did. I don't remember if I even reviewed it. I don't know. Go check my channel. It might be there. But I like this movie better than Interstellar. So, but I'm still giving it a 7.5. But it's still a great movie. It's still a really good movie. I still highly recommend this movie. So that's my review of Tenant. Make sure y'all check it out. Make sure y'all go check out Tenant. And make sure you like this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the notifications so you know when I upload. Subscribe, all that. Just come hang out with your boy. Oh, one more thing I gotta know. I gotta let you guys know. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Go browse my channel. You will see that I have added a new section to the channel. It's called my travel vlogs. So I'm gonna be hitting the roads soon. I've already started hitting the road, and we're gonna be doing a lot of traveling, and we're gonna bring these adventures to you. The first vlog that went up was my trip down to San Diego. I went down to San Diego for like 5 days. It might be 4 days. I don't know. I had a blast. It was my first time down to San Diego, and I had a blast. So go check that out. And there's another vlog. You can also check it out because I do room reviews of all the hotels that we're staying in. Right now, I got a room review of the Embassy Suites when we were down in San Diego, and then I spent a couple of days up in Seattle over the New Year's Eve. Didn't really do much footage because the weather was shit. So we basically just stayed in the hotel for the whole time. But I did put a room tour up for that, and that's a nice hotel. We were at the Motif up in Seattle, so that's a really nice hotel. But check out the travel blogs because in the next couple of weeks I will be heading down to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and I'll be doing a whole series of vlogs from down there. So make sure to stay tuned for that on the Travel Vlog channel, and also keep it locked right here because I'm back with movie reviews and all that stuff, and we got a lot to talk about. It's 2021 is here. Happy New Year, y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, you know how we do.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go.